city's name.
I want to say my ID in front of the utilities guys.
Good evening. Calling this Cleveland City Council meeting on Monday, November 13th, 2023 to order. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Griffin, Bishop, Conwell, Gray, Hairston, Harsh, House Jones, Jones, Casey, Kelly, Moorer, McCormack,
Present.
Polensik, Santana, Slife, Spencer, Starr. You have a quorum, Mr. President.
Thank you. Will everyone please rise for a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Clerk, please dispense with the journal.
By Councilmember Moorer that the reading of the minutes of the last meeting be dispensed with the journal approved, seconded by Councilmember Kelly.
Thank you. We will now move on to our public comment section of the meeting. We will start with Rasmia Al-Nadi of Medina to talk about community concerns.
You proclaimed Cleveland stands with Israel. What a fib, Mayor Bibb. Has a cute ring to it. What more can we say? What new information can I provide to you that could potentially push forth action? What have my brothers and sisters so confidently and admirably presented to you that I could supplement? Am I to reiterate the danger of rhetoric being used to dehumanize my people? Or reiterate the adjacent consequence of hate crimes carried out these past 4 weeks in Cleveland, in the United States of America, where, according to CARE, we've seen a 216% increase compared to last year? Or am I to reiterate the solidarity between us Palestinians alongside the Black community, whom, may I remind you, Mayor Bibb, that you were a part of? To reiterate the oneness in our struggles against an apartheid state? Am I to reiterate the personal interest and gains tied between your campaign and Israel? Is this new information? We have appealed to your logos and your ethos. We have presented fact upon fact. So you leave me with no choice but to appeal to your pathos, to your emotion, to your humanity, human to human. Maybe somewhere deep, deep, deep down it exists. Literature and resistance go hand in hand, so I present to you none other than my poem. For context, Akh Ya Elbi translates to, "Oh, my heart." Ya Elbi, I say, after seeing fragments of a martyr's flesh intertwined into what seemed to be an outfit. Akh Ya Elbi, my people are more than just a target. Akh Ya Elbi, Israel continues to upscale. Akh Ya Elbi, I can't handle this. I admit I don't get it, but who am I to quit? Akh Ya Elbi, this is the last place to forfeit. Akh Ya Elbi, Mayor Bibb, you are none other than a hypocrite. Akh Ya Elbi, roughly 4,609 children killed as of today. Akh Ya Elbi, praise be to God. The Gazans who have been left with nothing shout out and say, Akh Ya Elbi, how many kids were you in charge of killing today? Now, I would like to end this by quoting a Palestinian poet, Marwan Makhoul. In order for me to write poetry that isn't political, I must listen to the birds. In order to listen to the birds, the warplanes must fall silent. Thank you for nothing.
Okay, next is Basma Hamid of Cleveland. Basma Hamid of Cleveland to discuss a ceasefire in Gaza.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm wondering if you have the courage to look at yourselves in the mirror and ask the following questions. What are the negative decisions that I have made throughout my life to participate in destroying humankind by slaughtering infants in incubators, throwing bombs on hospitals, schools, churches, mosques, cemeteries, taking the lives of innocent journalists every day, and their families, including Shireen Abu Aqla, and more every single day? What are the positive decisions that I have made throughout my life to help make this world a better place to live? I was born in Palestine, and now, alhamdulillah, I am 69 years old and would love to retire in my homeland. And that is impossible for me. And my family cannot visit Palestine because of the genocide being practiced in Palestine and Gaza by the Zionist regime for the past 75 years. You don't have to be a Palestinian. You just have to be a human with a heart to stand up for the truth. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free.
The next speaker is Lucas Wagner of Mentor, Ohio, to speak about Palestine. Lucas, are you here?
3 weeks. 3 weeks in a row, the people of Cleveland came here to tell you to speak out against the genocide of the Palestinian people, to call for a ceasefire and to end aid to the terrorist Zionist occupation. And for 3 weeks, you have ignored your own constituents. The Palestinians of Gaza are still being mercilessly slaughtered through American funding, American arms, and now reports are showing American troops on the ground. This is another genocide of America's making. You've seen the protests in the streets, and you know your decisions are not aligned with the people of Cleveland. And quite honestly, I'm sure you've all seen the protests globally. The world stands with Palestine even as people in positions of power, especially in the West, remain complicit. I'm not surprised that a nation built through the genocide of indigenous peoples would be showing solidarity with another settler state. But I'm disgusted and I'm enraged, and the people of Cleveland are enraged. How much blood do you need on your hands before you call for a ceasefire? I've watched as the IOF has bombed bakeries, ambulances, hospitals, homes, and people fleeing down routes they were promised were safe. The genocide and ethnic cleansing are being recorded. None of this is hidden, and yet you are choosing to turn your head. History is being written as we speak. Our choices here and now are being recorded. History will not absolve those who support genocide and ethnic cleansing. History will not absolve those who prop up fascist military occupations, and history certainly won't absolve those who choose money and positions of power over justice. So do you stand with Palestine, or are you going to continue to stand with genocide? Thank you.
The next speaker is Alec Popivker, excuse me on the pronunciation, of Cleveland Heights, to talk about a war on hate.
Good evening, members of the council, fellow Clevelanders. I'd like to start with a prayer for American soldiers and for the soldiers of the IDF defending our love of democracy and freedom that unfortunately has not yet come to the rest of the Middle East. למנצח מזמור לדוד, יענך אדוני ביום צרה, ישגבך שם אלוהי יעקב, ישלח עזרך מקודש ומציון יסעדך, יזכור כל מנחסיך ולעשיך ידשנה סלע, ייתן לך חלבביך וכל עצתך ימלא, נרננה בישועתך ובשם אלוהינו נדגול, ימלא אדוני כל משאלתך, אתה ידעתי, כי הושיע אדוני משיחו, יענהו משמי קודשו, בגבורת ישע ימינו. אלה ברכב ואלה בסוסים, ואנחנו בשם אדוני אלוהינו נזכיר. המה קראו ונפלו, ואנחנו קמנו ונסעדד. אדוני הושיע, המלך יעננו, ויום קראנו. Jewish people are an ancient nation. According to our tradition, there would be 4 major exiles: the Egyptian, Babylonian, Roman, and Ishmaelite. In Sahih Bukhari, it's an oral tradition of Islam, it says that the judgment day has come when Muslims kill the Jews. Even behind the rocks they're hiding, the rock will say, come and kill this Jew. So I'd like to say that according to Islam, the judgment day has come. And I think it's time for us to make a judgment call. We have organizations here led by Abbas Hamideh, a leader who seems like a nice person to his followers, but he dehumanizes the Jewish people. He tells my family we should go back to Poland. We're not the real Jews. We are from Brooklyn. And he teaches these kids to hate Jewish people, to hate Israel. This propaganda is spread not only in schools where my children learn, they see it in YouTube videos attached by teachers. They go to college and they see professors propagating this kind of propaganda. In colleges, I see lawyers being hired from all these universities here who openly spread this kind of propaganda. The media sweeps under the rug incidents of anti-Semitism that go on at local universities. And here, there were swastikas at a Jewish cemetery in Cleveland a few days ago, but I didn't see the media talk about it.
That's time. That's time, sir. As a reminder, signs and placards are not permitted within the council chambers. The next speaker is Kareem Henton of the Stockyards neighborhood, who's here to speak about lots and participatory budgeting. Is Mr. Henton here? Mr. Henton? Okay, the next speaker is Frank Ford of Kirtland, who is here to speak about the Residents First legislation. Mr. Ford. Is Mr. Ford here? Okay. The next speaker is Sarah Gamon Popik, again, forgive me, Popikfaker of Cleveland Heights to speak about Israel. My apologies on the pronunciation of your name.
No problem. Over the past few years, local college campuses have silently witnessed the growth of several pro-Palestinian student groups, which regularly host events, post on social media, and organize protests with these anti-Semitic slanderous slogans. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free, which means that Israel should be erased from the map. There's no such thing as an innocent Zionist. Jews don't belong to the Middle East. Israel is an illegitimate state. Jews should go back to Poland, etc., etc. Just a couple of days after the massacre by the hands of Hamas in the beginning of October, these student groups and other local organizations like Alauda put together a protest in the center of Cleveland, during which the speakers were glorifying the martyrs that carried out the massacre and murdered, raped, and kidnapped hundreds of Israelis, including babies. You should be proud of the achievements of the Palestinian resistance, one of the organizers shouted into his loudspeaker. As a mother of college-age children, I am deeply concerned by the thriving of these groups and by the fact that nothing is being done to stop the spread of their hateful messages. I know that in other states, such groups have been shut down or prohibited from spreading such terrorism inciting propaganda. I am asking you, Mr. Mayor, esteemed members of the City Council, to take prompt measures to stop these groups from polluting our youth with such dangerous forms of hate. Shalom Aleichem.
The next speaker is Dantes Taylor. Dantes Taylor of Ward 4. Mr. Taylor is here to speak about the County Jail, Juvenile Detention Center, Child and Family Services. Mr. Taylor.
Okay. I would like to know what council is going to do with our juvenile detention center by bringing in a reversion program to teach our kids schooling and everything else in our detention center down there on Quincy, and what can we do to get these programs started so when they come out of the detention center, they can be they can be reconverted back out to our community and everything else. And our kids that are in our Child and Family Services, we need to know what can we do to relocate them to out here in our community today.
Our final speaker tonight is Mike Seals of Ward 7. Mr. Seals here. Mike Seals. All right. Madam Clerk, please read communications.
File number 1267, 2023, oath of office for Edilio Morales, Assistant Director, Department of Human Resources. File number 1268, 2023, oath of office for Brian McEntee, Commander of Bureau of Communications and Property Control, Division of Police, Department of Public Safety. File number 1291, 2023, from Council President Blaine Griffin, designating without objection by council Alan Dreyer to serve as Clerk of Council Pro Tem for all matters requiring the clerk's signature on November 10th, 2023. File number 1267, 2023, dedication plat for Bailey Bridge Subdivision Phase 2, south side of Bailey Avenue between West 38th and Fulton Road, Ward 3, approved by Committees on Municipal Services and Properties and Development, Planning, and Sustainability. Without objection, plat approved. From the Ohio Division of Liquor Control, file number 1264, 2023, regarding an economic development transfer at 1400 West 25th Street, Ward 3. File number 1266, 2023, regarding a transfer of ownership application at 3778 West 117th Street, Ward 11. File number 1330, 2023, regarding a transfer of license application at 12603 Buckeye Road, Ward 6. File number 1331, 2023, regarding a stock transfer application at 3655-57 Bosworth Road, Ward 11. File number 1332, 2023, regarding a transfer of ownership application at 815 Superior Avenue, Ward 3. File number 1333, 2023, regarding a new license application at 10323 Lorraine Avenue, Ward 11. Approval of mayor's appointments. File number 1288, 2023, from Councilmember Joseph T. Jones, Chair of Mayor's Appointments Committee of Cleveland City Council, recommending the appointment of Luis Cartagena to the Board of Directors of Cleveland-Cuyahoga County Port Authority, term ending January 31st, 2026. Without objection, the appointment is approved. File number 1289, 2023, from Councilmember Joseph T. Jones, Chair, Mayor's Appointments Committee of Cleveland City Council, recommending the reappointment of August L. Fluker to the Cleveland City Planning Commission, term ending August 1st, 2029. Without objection, the appointment is approved. File number 1290, 2023, from Councilmember Joseph T. Jones, Chair of Mayor's Appointments Committee of Cleveland City Council, recommending the reappointment of Lillian A. Curry to the Cleveland City Planning Commission, term ending August 1st, 2029. Without objection, the appointment is approved. File number 1292, 2023, from Councilmember Joseph T. Jones, Chair of Mayor's Appointments Committee of Cleveland City Council, recommending the appointment of Christopher Lozier to the Cleveland Landmarks Commission, term ending September 1st, 2027. Without objection, the appointment is approved.
Madam Clerk, please read the condolence resolutions.
Resolutions of condolence by Councilmember Griffin for Lena Wainwright Duncan Williams, by Councilmember Griffin for Lavelle Smith, by Councilmember Hairston for Emerson Hollingsworth, by Councilmember Hairston for Barbara Cynthia Eddie Key, by Councilmember Hairston for Jonathan Eugene Felder, by Councilmember House Jones for Reginald D. Askew, by Councilmember Jones for Dorothy Wilson, by Councilmember Jones for Reverend Tommy James Jackson Jr., by Councilmember Starr for Celestine Beasley, by Councilmember Hairston for Donna Kennedy, by Councilmembers McCormick and Slife for Kathleen A. K. Huff.
Are there any other condolence resolutions? Councilman Polensek.
Thank you. Would the clerk please hold out a number for John Gorsmeyer? Thank you.
So noted.
Thank you. Any other condolence resolutions? Alrighty. Will all members please rise for a moment of silence? Thank you. Please read the congratulatory resolutions.
Resolutions of congratulations by Councilmember Griffin for the Taihar Festival of Lights, by Councilmember Griffin for the Norman S. Minor Bar Association on their 2023 Community Impact Award, by Councilmember Griffin for John R. Corlett, by Councilmembers Griffin and Starr for WOVU 95.9 FM on their 5th anniversary, by Councilmember Polensik for Greater New Canaan Ministries. Resolutions of recognition by Councilmember Griffin for Barbara Brown, by Councilmember McCormack for Omara Portuando, by Councilmember Slife for United States Air Force veteran Gary Schuld, by Councilmember Starr for East Technical High School on their 115th anniversary. Resolution of appreciation by Councilmember Griffin for Lisa Matthews.
Do any members have any presentations this evening? Presentations?
None that I've heard of.
Seeing none. Madam Clerk, first reading of emergency ordinances referred for administrative review and committee review.
Ordinance 1269, 2023, by Council Members Hairston, Bishop, and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Capital Projects to enter into one or more agreements with the City of East Cleveland regarding the public improvement of resurfacing Woodward Avenue between Hayden Avenue and Coit Road to, among other items, allow East Cleveland to make the public improvement of resurfacing the portions on Woodworth Avenue which are located in the City of Cleveland, and to cause payment to the City of East Cleveland for the city's portion of the improvement. Ordinance 1270, 2023, by Councilmembers Conwell, Hairston, and Griffin by departmental request, to supplement Ordinance 1074, 2021, to add a new 11th whereas clause relating to one or more grant agreements with Hitchcock Center for Women to support the construction of a new residential treatment facility at 1227 Ansel Road. Ordinance 1271, 2023, by Councilmembers Hairston and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Community Development to apply for and accept one or more grants from the cities for Financial Empowerment Fund, the Cleveland Citywide Development Corporation, and other public or private entities for the Bank on Fellowship program. Ordinance 1272, 2023, by Councilmembers Casey and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Public Utilities to enter into one or more requirement contracts without competitive bidding with Southeastern Equipment Company, Inc. and Murphy Tractor and Equipment Company, Inc. for the purchase of proprietary replacement parts of heavy-duty construction equipment and labor and materials to repair and maintain the proprietary equipment for the divisions of water pollution control, and Cleveland Public Power, Department of Public Utilities, for a term of 2 years. Ordinance 1273, 2023, by Councilmembers McCormack, Bishop, and Hairston by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Capital Projects to issue a permit to 1865 West 22nd Street, LLC, to encroach into the public right-of-way of West 22nd Street by installing, using, and maintaining new entrance staircases and an at-grade courtyard. Ordinance 1274, 2023, by Councilmembers McCormack and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Port Control to exercise an option to renew a contract with All Clear, DBA Clear, to continue the operation and maintenance of up to 15 kiosks located at security checkpoints and for administrative support space at Cleveland Hopkins International Airport. Ordinance 1275, 2023, by Councilmembers McCormack and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Port Control to enter into one or more contracts with Airports Council International for professional services necessary to provide customer service satisfaction surveys, data collection, reporting and benchmarking, and similar services for a period of 1 year with 3 one-year options to renew, exercisable by the Director of Port Control. Ordinance 1276, 2023, by Councilmembers McCormack and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Port Control to enter into 1 or more contracts with J.D. Power for professional services necessary to participate in and have access to the JDP North America Airport Satisfaction Study and similar services for a period of 1 year with 2 one-year options to renew, exercisable by the Director of Port Control. Ordinance 1277, 2023, by Councilmembers Casey and Griffin by departmental request, determining the method of making the public improvement of maintaining and improving the interior and exterior of various buildings and sites, including but not limited to roofs and related building and site systems, authorizing the Director of Public Utilities to enter into 1 or more public improvement contracts to construct the improvement, authorizing the Director to employ 1 or more professional consultants necessary to design the improvement, and authorizing the Director to apply for and accept any grants, including but not limited to grants from Northeast Ohio Regional Sewer District for Community Cost Share Program funding for a period of 2 years. Ordinance 1278, 2023, by Councilmembers Casey and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Public Utilities to employ 1 or more professional consultants to assist in the management of Program Year 3 of the city's project of replacing various lead and galvanized service lines, authorizing the purchase by 1 or more requirement contracts of copper service lines, copper connections, and related appurtenances, including but not limited to materials, labor, and installation if necessary for the division of water, and authorizing the Director of Public Utilities and/or the Director of Finance to apply for and accept 1 or more water supply revolving loan account loans, grants, and other funding. Ordinance 1285, 2023, by Council Members Starr, Hairston, and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Community Development to accept a donation of 3 pieces of real estate from Community Housing Solutions for use by the Department of Community Development. Ordinance 1286, 2023, by Councilmembers Hairston and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Community Development to enter into 1 or more grant agreements with various entities to assist with a lead-safe program using a portion of the city's coronavirus local fiscal recovery fund as authorized under Ordinance 119, 2022. Ordinance 1287, 2023, by Councilmember Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Finance on behalf of Cleveland Municipal Court to enter into 1 or more contracts with Cuyahoga County Public Defender Commission for legal services necessary to defend indigent defendants charged with violation of ordinances of the City of Cleveland that may result in incarceration for the Cleveland Municipal Court for a period of 1 year with 1 option to renew for an additional consecutive year exercisable by the Director of Finance. Ordinance 1293, 2023, by Councilmembers Polensek and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Public Safety to apply for and accept a grant from the United States Department of Justice, Bureau of Justice Assistance for fiscal year 23, Burn Justice Assistance Grant, local solicitation, authorizing 1 or more contracts with Cuyahoga County and various cities, and authorizing the purchase by 1 or more contracts of 1 mobile security unit to implement the grant. Ordinance 1294, 2023, by Councilmember Starr, authorizing Director of Community Development to enter into a grant agreement with Midtown Cleveland Incorporated or its designee to partially finance redevelopment of a portion of the Warner Swayze building located at 5701 Carnegie Avenue into affordable senior and family housing units. Ordinance 1295, 2023, by Councilmember Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Finance on behalf of Cleveland Municipal Court to enter into 1 or more contracts with Oriana House for professional services necessary to provide appropriate placement for defendants to be assigned into supervised pretrial release without the sanction of incarceration, and to provide related services for Cleveland Municipal Court for a period of 1 year with a 1-year option to renew, exercisable by the Director of Finance. Ordinance 1298, 2023, by Council Members Polensek and Griffin by departmental request to amend section 135.071 of the codified ordinances relating to maximum age for original appointment to the divisions of police and fire. Ordinance 1299, 2023, by Council Members Hairston and Griffin by departmental request to amend various ordinances authorizing 5 tax increment financing projects to extend the exemption from taxation for certain parcels in the city for an additional 30 years, and to supplement the development and the public improvements to be made to benefit those and other parcels, and declaring an emergency. Ordinance 1300, 2023, by Council Members Polensek and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing Director of Public Safety to apply for and accept a grant from the United States Department of Justice, Bureau of Justice Assistance for fiscal year 23 Public Safety Partnership Grant, authorizing the Director to enter into one or more contracts with the Task Force on Violent Crime and with various agencies and/or entities, and to enter into various written standard purchase and requirement contracts to implement the grant. Ordinance 1302, 2023, by Council Members Polensek and Griffin by departmental request, approving an addendum to the 2022-25 collective bargaining agreement with Fraternal Order of Police, Lodge 8, and to amend Section 54 of Ordinance 194, 2021, as amended, relating to salaries for various classifications. Ordinance 1303, 2023, by Council Members Polensek and Griffin by departmental request, approving an addendum to the 2022-25 collective bargaining agreement with Cleveland Police Patrolmen's Association, Non-Civilian Division of Police, and to amend Section 55 of Ordinance 194, 2021, relating to salaries for various classifications.
Thank you. First reading of emergency ordinances to be passed.
Ordinance 1279, 2023, by Councilmember Casey, authorizing the Director of Department of Community Development to enter into agreement with Bel Air Puritas Development Corporation for the public purpose of providing Ward 16 code enforcement program through the use of Ward 16 casino revenue funds. Ordinance 1280, 2023, by Councilmember Griffin, consenting and approving the issuance of a permit for the annual Transplant House 5K event on June 9, 2024, managed by Hermes Sports and Events. Ordinance 1281, 2023, by Councilmembers Jones, Bishop, and Gray, an emergency ordinance authorizing the Director of Department of Community Development to enter into agreement with Union Miles Development Corporation for the public purpose of providing the UMDC litter campaign through the use of Wards 1, 2, and 4 casino revenue funds. Ordinance 1296, 2023, by Council Members House Jones, Polensek, Conwell, Hairston, and Santana, authorizing the Director of Department of Community Development to enter into agreement with Famicos Foundation for the purpose of providing the 2023 food card distribution program through the use of Wards 7, 8, 9, 10, and 14 casino revenue funds. Ordinance 1304, 2023, by Councilmember Griffin by departmental request, approving the collective bargaining agreement with the Laborers International Union of North America, Local 860, non-supervisory and supervisory, and to amend sections 26 and 27 of Ordinance 194, 2021, as amended, relating to salaries for various classifications. Ordinance 1305, 2023, by Councilmember Griffin by departmental request, approving the collective bargaining agreement with Ohio Patrolmen's Benevolent Association, Chief Dispatcher, and to amend Section 15 of Ordinance 194, 2021, relating to salaries for various classifications. Ordinance 1306, 2023, by Councilmember Griffin by departmental request, approving the collective bargaining agreement with the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 38, and to amend Section 20 of Ordinance 194, 2021, relating to salaries for various classifications. Ordinance 1307, 2023, by Councilmember Griffin by departmental request, approving the collective bargaining agreement with Plumbers Local 55, Plumbers Inspectors, and to amend Section 21 of Ordinance 194, 2021, relating to salaries for various classifications. Ordinance 1329, 2023, by Councilmember Casey, amending Section 1 of Ordinance 655, 2023, relating to the agreement with Bel Air Puritas Development Corporation for Housing Code Enforcement Program through the use of Ward 16 casino revenue funds.
Read the motion to suspend the rules.
By Councilmember Moore, that the rules be suspended and the legislation just read be placed on final passage. Seconded by Councilmember Kelly.
Please call the roll.
Griffin, Bishop, Conwell, Gray, Hairston, Harsh, House, Jones, Casey, Kelly, Moore, McCormack, Polensek, Santana, Slife, Spencer, Starr. 14 yeas.
Please call the roll on passage.
Griffin, Bishop, Conwell, Gray, Hairston, Harsh, House, Jones, Casey, Kelly, Moore, McCormack, Polensek, Santana, Slife, Spencer, Starr. 14 yeas.
First reading of emergency resolutions referred for administrative review and committee review.
Resolution 1301, 2023, by Councilmembers Polensek, Bishop, Hairston, and Griffin, by departmental request, declaring it necessary to design, inspect, reconstruct, repair, and/or install roadways, sidewalks, driveway aprons, curbs, including adjustments of castings and landscaping if necessary, storm sewer structures, and other necessary appurtenances encroaching upon the public right-of-way on Euclid Beach Boulevard and East 159th Street from Euclid Beach Boulevard to Lakeshore Boulevard.
First reading of emergency resolutions to be adopted.
Resolution 1282, 2023, by Councilmember Casey, withdrawing objection to the transfer of ownership of a C1, C2, and D6 liquor permit at 15002 Puritas Avenue, and repealing Resolution 738, 2023, objecting to said permit. Resolution 1283, 2023, by Councilmember Moore, withdrawing objection to a new C2 liquor permit at 6506 Fleet Avenue and repealing Resolution 737, 2023, objecting to said permit. Resolution 1284, 2023, by Councilmember Conwell, withdrawing objection to a new C1 liquor permit at 1500 St. Clair Avenue and repealing Resolution 1044, 2023, objecting to said permit. Resolution 1297, 2023, by Councilmember Spencer, objecting to a new C2 liquor permit at 8404 Madison Avenue.
Read the motion to suspend the rules.
By Councilmember Moore, that the rules be suspended and the legislation just read be placed on final passage. Seconded by Councilmember Kelly.
Please call the roll.
Griffin, Bishop, Conwell, Gray, Hairston, Harsh, House, Jones, Casey, Kelly, Moore, McCormack, Polensek, Santana, Slife, Spencer, Starr. 14 yeas.
Please call the roll on adoption.
Griffin, Bishop, Conwell, Gray, Hairston, Harsh, House, Jones, Casey, Kelly, Moore, McCormack, Polensek, Santana, Slife, Spencer, Starr. 14 yeas.
Second reading of emergency ordinances to be passed.
Ordinance 748, 2023, by Councilmembers McCormack, Bishop, and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Public Works to enter into an amendment to the June 30th, 2016 Property Operations and Programming Agreement with the Group Plan Commission for Public Square to provide a restricted contribution to support the Commission's maintenance obligations on Public Square. Ordinance 1013, 2023, by Councilmembers Casey and Griffin by departmental request, determining the method of making a public improvement of constructing improvements to the residual handling facilities at Baldwin, Crown, and Nottingham water treatment plants, and authorizing the Director of Public Utilities to enter into one or more public improvement contracts for the making of the improvement. Ordinance 1014, 2023, by Council Members Casey and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing Director of Public Utilities to enter into one or more contracts. OW Investors, LLC, DBA, Mars Company, for professional services necessary to provide software and hardware maintenance to test and maintain residential and commercial water meters for the Division of Water, Department of Public Utilities, for a period of 1 year with one option to renew for an additional year, exercisable by the Director of Public Utilities. Ordinance 1026, 2023, by Council Members Casey and Griffin by departmental request, determining the method of making the public improvement of constructing the West 70th Street, Baltic Road, Homer Avenue, and West 38th Street areas sewer projects, including but not limited to manholes and catch basins, authorizing Director of Public Utilities to enter into one or more public improvement contracts to construct the improvement, and authorizing Director to employ one or more professional consultants necessary to design and implement the improvement and to apply for and accept funding. Ordinance 1086, 2023, by Council Members Casey and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the general fund to receive and use revenue from tax remittances collected by Cleveland Public Power during the years 2024 and 25, and transfer 100% of tax remittances collected in both years back to Cleveland Public Power. Ordinance 1093, 2023, as amended by Council Members McCormack, Hairston, Bishop, and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the Directors of Public Works and Community Development to enter into one or more lease and/or management agreements with Cleveland Public Market Corporation, an Ohio nonprofit corporation, to lease the West Side Market parking lot, and the Hicks parking lot, and to provide professional services to manage, operate, and improve these properties and assist with capital improvement fundraising and funding from available tax credits for the improvement of the West Side Market, authorizing other agreements, authorizing Director of Public Works to apply for and accept any gifts or grants or services from any public or private entity, and to amend sections 131, 21, 22, and 78, and repeal Chapter 553 of the Codified Ordinances as amended by various ordinances relating to the West Side Market. Ordinance 1136, 2023, by Council Members Casey and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing Director of Public Utilities to enter into one or more contracts with the Cleveland Water Alliance for professional services necessary to provide state-of-the-art water quality detection equipment and to deploy, maintain, and retrieve data from 4 buoys in Lake Erie for the Division of Water, Department of Public Utilities, for a period up to 3 years. Ordinance 1153, 2023, by Council Members Santana, Griffin, McCormack, Polensek, Conwell, Bishop, Gray, Hairston, Harsh, House, Jones, Casey, Kelly, Carey, Slife, Starr, and Spencer, authorizing the Director of Economic Development to enter into a grant agreement with LG Blanket Mill, Maine, LLC, to provide economic development assistance to partially finance the Northern Ohio Blanket Mill mixed-use neighborhood project located in the Clark-Fulton neighborhood. Ordinance 1154, 2023, by Council Members Griffin, Bishop, and Hairston by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Capital Projects to enter into a maintenance, inspection, and repair agreement with and to issue a permit to Cleveland Clinic Foundation to encroach onto, over, and within the public right-of-way of East 100th Street by constructing, installing, and using and maintaining an overhead pedestrian bridge. Ordinance 1156, 2023, by Council Members Gray, Griffin, McCormack, Santana, Polensek, Conwell, Bishop, Gray, Hairston, Harsh, House, Jones, Casey, Kelly, Carey, Slife, Starr, and Spencer, authorizing the Director of Economic Development to enter into a grant agreement with Jordan Community Residential Center, DBA Jordan Community Resource Center, to provide economic development assistance to partially finance renovation of its health and wellness facility known as the Oasis in the city. Ordinance 1193, 2023, by Council Members Jones, Bishop, and Griffin by departmental request, determining the method of making the public improvement of reconstructing Johnston Parkway from the Garfield Heights city limits to Velma Avenue, authorizing the Director of Capital Projects to enter into one or more public improvement contracts for the making of the improvement, accepting any gifts or grants, authorizing the Commissioner of Purchases and Supplies to acquire, accept, and record for right-of-way purposes any real property and easements necessary to make the improvement, and authorizing other agreements. Ordinance 1232, 2023, by Council Members Casey and Griffin by departmental request, to amend Section 129.295 of the Codified Ordinances of Cleveland, Ohio, relating to applying for and accepting grants and other funding for sewer projects in the Capital Improvement Plan to include all divisions of the Department of Public Utilities. Ordinance 1239, 2023, by Councilmember Griffin by departmental request, to amend Section 38 of Ordinance 194, 2021, as amended relating to salaries for various classifications. Ordinance 1243, 2023, by Councilmember Griffin, authorizing the Clerk of Council to enter into a requirement contract without competitive bidding with Weekly's Mailing Service for mailing services with proprietary list for a period of 1 year with 2 one-year options to renew, exercisable by the Clerk of Council. Ordinance 1257, 2023, by Councilmember Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Finance on behalf of the Office of Urban Analytics and Innovation to apply for and accept a grant from the Cleveland Foundation for the Open Data Culture and Processes Program, which will support the mission of that office, to enter into various written standard purchase and requirement contracts, and authorizing the Director to employ one or more professional consultants to implement the grant.
Please read the motion to suspend the rules.
By Councilmember Moore, that the rules be suspended and the legislation just read be placed on final passage. Seconded by Councilmember Kelly.
Please call the roll.
Griffin, Bishop, Conwell, Gray, Hairston, Harsh, House, Jones, Casey, Kelly, Moore, McCormack, Polensek, Santana, Slife, Spencer, Starr. 14 yeas.
Please call the roll on passage.
Griffin, Bishop, Conwell, Gray, Hairston, Harsh, House, Jones, Casey, Kelly, Moore, McCormack, Polensek, Santana, Slife, Spencer, Starr. 14 yeas.
Thank you. Second reading of emergency resolutions to be adopted.
Resolution 1017, 2023, by Council Members Griffin, Mayor Bibb, Council Members Polensek, Santana, and Hairston, declaring this council's desire that Cleveland and Cape Town, South Africa, establish a sister city relationship, and authorizing the mayor to enter into such agreement and execute such documents that are necessary to implement the relationship. Resolution 1018, 2023, by Councilmember Griffin and Mayor Bibb, Council Members McCormack, Santana, Bishop, Gray, Jones, Polensek, Starr, House, Jones, Conwell, Hairston, Kelly, Moore, Harsh, Spencer, Casey, and Slife, declaring this council's desire that Cleveland and Kigali, Rwanda, establish a sister city relationship, and authorizing the mayor to enter into such agreement and execute such documents that are necessary to implement the relationship. Resolution 1019, 2023, by Councilmember Griffin and Mayor Bibb, Council Members McCormack, Santana, Polensek, Hairston, and Bishop, declaring this council's desire that Cleveland and Tama, Ghana, establish a sister city relationship and authorizing the mayor to enter into such agreement and execute such documents that are necessary to implement the relationship.
Read the motion to suspend the rules.
By Councilmember Moore, that the rules be suspended and the legislation just read be placed on final passage. Seconded by Councilmember Kelly.
Please call the roll.
Griffin, Bishop, Conwell, Gray, Hairston, Harsh, House, Jones, Casey, Kelly, Moore, McCormack, Polensek, Santana, Slife, Spencer, Starr. 14 yeas.
Please call the roll on adoption.
Griffin, Bishop, Conwell, Gray, Hairston, Harsh, House, Jones, Casey, Kelly, Moore, McCormack, Polensek, Santana, Slife, Spencer, Starr. 14 yeas.
Thank you. This ends the legislative portion of today's meeting. Are there any introductions? Councilwoman Santana.
Thank you. Today I want to introduce a Cleveland new resident, Daniel Matthew, if you could stand up. He's new to our city. We welcome you.
All right.
Is this where we do the thank yous too for like legislation? I forgot. Not yet.
We'll do that in miscellaneous. Yeah,
okay.
miscellaneous is better. Councilman Joe Jones, did I see your mic up?
It was up, but it seems like the lady just left out, Mr.
It's now down. Councilman
Let me just say,
All right.
left out, so I'm going to go ahead and say it anyway. Rhoda Cantrell just left out of here, but I just wanted to shout out to her because she does so many wonderful things in our communities with senior citizens. So for the administration, especially the Department of Aging, I'm appreciative to have her. She lets me know about some of our oldest constituency and some of their needs. And we have a 106-year-old that's in our community, and Rhoda has done a wonderful job in making sure that she's getting the services that she needs to have from the Department of Aging, and that she's also getting services from her. So shout out to Rhoda Cantrell. I know she'll see it on TV, but kudos. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. I've either got Polensek or Conwell. I'm not sure who's like. Councilman Kevin Conwell.
My best friends, Rhonda Robinson, is here. We go way back to FDR. She is a good sister in Christ. Let's give a round of applause for Rhonda Robinson. Then we have a person here who's a friend of mine, close friend of mine in the neighborhood. He and my brother grew up together, Fred Ward. Fred pushed manhood and fatherhood in the community. And the way you keep crime down in the community is that you always push manhood and fatherhood. And when you do that, it's not just going out and arresting people, that young children are able to see a man and they know how to conduct themselves and have emotional intelligence in the community. So let's give it up for my dear friend, Fred Ward. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilman. I'd also like to recognize we had Dave Abbott in here before, who is the chairperson of the West Side Market, the new nonprofit, and Jessica Trevisano, who is with the mayor's team, but we've worked closely with her for 2 years on all the changes at the West Side Market. So, Ms. Trevisano, if you could please stand up to be recognized. Thank you. All righty. Are there any announcements? Councilwoman Santana.
Hello. I just want to take some time today. We heard legislation number 1153, 2023, which is authorizing Director of Economic Development to allocate $1 million of ARPA allocations to Blinken Mills project. I want to thank my colleagues, particular Councilman Hairston. Thank you for your support and your guidance through this. For all the council colleagues that have co-sponsored it, President Griffin, who honestly, he has spearheaded this. He motivated me and really empowered me to request these dollars. And this $1 million is what we needed to finalize the project. And for those who don't know much about the project, it's 60 apartments that are affordable. So not just HUD affordable, but we partner with CMHA to ensure that it's a project-based voucher, meaning 100% Section 8 residents will be moving into these apartments. The last time I checked, there was 900 on the waiting list. So this is going to impact not just Ward 14, but just the city of Cleveland residents. We know housing is important. We hear it all the time. So projects like this are really transformational for the city of Cleveland. For me, particularly, I have 30% owner occupancy in Ward 14. It's a very vulnerable neighborhood. Our families are being displaced constantly. They're moving into the suburbs because it's cheaper to live in the suburbs than living in the city of Cleveland. You know this, Councilman McCormick. So once again, I want to thank you for your support, for your vote, and this is going to be very impactful for the city of Cleveland. So thank you. I celebrate today. I'm excited. That's it.
And thank you, Councilwoman Santana, for your leadership on that great project. Really important for the neighborhood. Any miscellaneous this evening? Any miscellaneous? Miscellaneous going once, miscellaneous going twice. All righty. Madam Clerk, please excuse the absences.
By Councilmember Moore, that the absence of Councilmembers Griffin and House Jones are hereby excused. Seconded by Councilmember Kelly.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. This Cleveland City Council meeting is adjourned to the next regular meeting on November 20th, 2023.